YouTube, what the crap's going on? Good morning, HeirofCarthage here. I'm back in the legendary West Rome campaign, where we're going to actually stream this episode live. Pretty excited about it. There was one thing I needed to look up real quick, though. So give me just a second. Plus, this will give me a chance to check the chat. And you all in the chat, tell me whether or not the sound is working okay. I believe it should be, but just want to make absolutely certain. Just need to go pull an email, and then we should be able to get started. And what is this email? Some of you may be asking. You will see. You will see. So, yeah. If I can remember my password to get into my email, that might be the trick. There we go. I'm going to get in there eventually. So how's your morning? Where's everybody signing on from? Let me know which countries we got represented. I'll try and say hi to a few people. I see a lot of people on here actually right now. Got James and Lennon Marks and Don and Mickey Boy Blue, Lucius Flavius, apparently here representing the Roman Empire. Corn Hub, Ivory, Juven, Sweet. Oh, well, that's why I can't pronounce it. He says he's from Sweden. Chicken Lord, maybe I already said that. Raihan, Mahi. Yeah, I'm going to sit here and murder everybody's name, but welcome everybody. Looks like we got a ton of different countries represented in the stream, as usual, which is pretty excited. I saw someone saying that it was going to start at like 11 p.m. their time, like 2,300 hours. Who in the world is that, man? That's a long way off. But of course, it's probably worse if you're on the west coast of the U.S. I think anybody in California right now, it's like 6 in the morning, so... we got anybody on from California that's that much of a fan, or like Vancouver or anywhere over in that area where it would be really early in the morning? Because if so, that's pretty impressive. Let me see here. I got to go find this email I was looking for. I get a ton of emails, so this is going to be tricky for me to find. Let's see. Where did it go? Where did it go? I'm going to find it here in a second. You may be wondering why this email is so important. Trust me, it's important. It is important. I got someone from Toronto, but that's not the west half of the country, so still early, but not as early as I was thinking. You know, someone was over there and someone was over in like Vancouver or California, Oregon, California, that area. Let's see if this is it. No. Jeez, I can't find it. Well, you all be patient with me. I'm gonna switch over to the game in just a second. You've got to hang on because again, this email is important, and I don't know why I'm having trouble finding it. Okay, let's see. Got to be around here somewhere. I get a lot of interest. Oh yeah, here it is. So there was a guy that I told you all about previously. His name's Nathan Angus, and he's the biggest contributor to me on the Patreon campaign. So Patreon's where you can choose to voluntarily support me, and you don't have to. And I'm not going to sit here and like spend the whole thing talking about how you have to or something. But if you want to, obviously you're free to. But this guy had contributed a great deal and really helped me out a ton. So I wanted to give him a shout out here, and also let's see, I had offered him the opportunity to name an army and a city, so that's what I was going to take care of here, and I've got those names up here. I just need to plop them over here where I can see it when I get into the game. So Nathan had asked me to name an army and a city. We'll have to do it after this battle, I think, because I can't do it here. But yeah, he wants me to name one of my armies. This was his request, Patchy's Fist, and then he wants me to rename one of my cities Patchy Town. Said it was cheesy, but he likes it. So that's what we're going to do. Let me take care, and you all in the comments remind me after the battle, please, to go ahead and name the stuff for Nathan, because you know how forgetful I am, and I don't want to forget. 1 a.m. in Melbourne? Good grief, man. This guy's a trooper. That's crazy. So yeah, let me explain where we're at. I actually had started recording episode 15 previously, and I'd gone like 10 minutes in. It was just campaign map. Nothing huge happened on the campaign map, except for that the Caledonians and the Saxons and everybody were moving more troops down. And this is a Caledonian army that crossed, I believe is it the Pyrenees Mountains that's right there between France and the Iberian Peninsula? I believe it is. If it's not, then correct me. But yeah, so this Caledonian army has crossed in. We need to defend Pompaleo from the Caledonian forces. So we're going to go ahead and fight this battle. This is going to be where we start off today. I will let you all name some stuff from the comments too after we go name the stuff for Nathan. So again, remind me after we get out of the battle that we need to name some stuff, and we will take care of that. Yeah, 2 p.m. in England. So really, honestly, the people in Western Europe get it pretty easy on these streams. I do it in the morning mainly, and some people have asked me why I do it in the morning. Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, if I do it in the morning, it gives people all day to be able to rewatch it. And then 2, if I do it in the morning, it's done. And the biggest importance to me is that I spend the rest of the day with my family. So, oh, not this map. This map's awful. It's really hard to defend this map, too. This sucks. There's no walls or anything else. This is a terrible map. We're probably going to get killed. I do have my scout cavalry, though, and we can wreck their onager. That will help, but they also have some bows. There's 2 of which I can see over here, so we'll have to watch out for that. And we have to remember, too, that I don't really know how much the AI does it, but they can guerrilla deploy some of their troops. They do have 3 of these Celtic cavalry raiders, and I do not want to gain their attention early because I don't want to face them. There's a 3rd one over there, so I'm going to have to deploy my cavalry in such a position as to not quickly draw their attention. I'm wondering what happens if I just deploy my cavalry right here and take off straight behind the onager real quick. Let's try it. I've got 3 scout cavalry. We only need 1 to go after the onager, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and deploy all 3 there. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. We'll see. We will see whether or not I am correct. What I'm thinking, so a big chunk of their troops are coming from over here. What are these units? Celtic Band? I mean, they are sword units, and I'm more concerned about sword units than I am spear units. The reason why I'm asking and thinking about it is, well, I mean, a big chunk of their troops will probably come right past this barricade, though. So if I put the barricade here and put one of these upgraded skirmishers, these guys ought to be able to unleash a pretty good amount of death there. And let's just think. We got our Legio, and we have our spears. We've got 3 units of spears. We have our general's unit as well. We'd want to commit this one last, if at all possible. And then we have some archers that we're going to be able to make use of, and 1 more skirmisher that we can make use of. Obviously, I'd like to get as many kills out of these skirmishers and stuff as we can. The challenge is going to be just the direction and everything that these guys fire from. I'm going to leave just this 1 skirmisher over here at Fire and Will for the moment, because that's where they're based. So let's think about how many entrances we got. 1, 2. This is not an entrance over here. So 3 entrances besides this point that we have to protect. And I'm kind of thinking that usually, since the AI kind of derps around in front of a crap, stupid archers. They usually kind of derp around in front of these barricades. Man, I don't know why it took me so long to think of the word barricade. Shouldn't be that difficult. Let's get 2 of these Legio, and we'll put them there. There's not really a great downhill gradient for me to put them on, but if we spread them like this, it should make them harder to outflank, at least. And let's see. Let's just get 2 of our spears.
What are your orders?
Actually, 1 spear unit could probably blockade this quite well because it's fairly narrow right here. Let's take care of that. That spear unit can kind of blockade that. And then that leaves us with 1 entrance back here. And we've got 2 spearmen free that can cover this. Let's get these guys set up properly back here. And we definitely want to make sure it's like fully in the choke point so that the enemy can't outflank. Let's see. There we go. These guys, I'm having a hard time placing these guys. But they'll be nice and deep there. Should be fairly well protected. My general, let's kind of just put him back up in here and Testudo for the moment. And then let's just go Testudo with this unit. And we will try to get these guys into a Testudo. It doesn't help them against infantry, but it can be helpful in general. Let's go ahead and start the battle. I'm going to see if anybody is making any comments for the Empire. Block off 2 ways to the barricade. What do you mean 2 ways? I've only got 1 barricade available. So it's not one of those situations where I'm missing 1, right? What Air is doing right now is great. Y'all like the live campaign? I hope you do. I'm interested to see how it turns out. I think I've done one before, but I haven't done a ton of them. I'm just going to take these Scataquites and try and get behind the Onager immediately. And if we can lure out some of those axes or anything else, that's fine too. I really don't want to lose my cavalry early, so this is a bit risky. I think this unit right here is going to mop up some serious kills. It's right past the tower. It's got nice open lines of sight. The AI is probably going to ignore my cavalry over here. Yeah, they're not bringing any of their Celtic horse raiders towards me. And I'm kind of hoping their Celtic horse raiders will come up first over here. They're taking some tower fire as well, which is great. Those guys have their own plumbata, so I might just put this... No. Yeah, stay where you're at, actually. This is a good spot. Maybe it is. I can't tell. I want to take out their cavalry. I'll let my guys throw the plumbata first. Okay, this thing's unguarded. Let's keep our guys moving so they're harder to hit. And let's take them off fire at will so they don't kill each other with their javelins at the moment. Gonna hit this Onager. So the Onager will be out of commission early. The Celtic cavalry raiders are getting wasted by javelins. I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, no, actually don't turn these guys on fire at will because they'll javelin the crap out of my back. Let's target this unit over here specifically. I'm going to go ahead and go into Testudo with these guys, though, because there's javelins moving up, and I don't want to take those extra losses. I'll try and use my own javelins to make this right. And we can pull an archer over here as well. Those javelins are just out of the range of my own, but I'll see if I can toss here. Yeah, they're still killing quite a few of my men in the Testudo. Okay, these guys over here should get wrecked on pretty thoroughly. Let's pull these archers up. Should be able to protect myself there. Okay, I'm getting some return javelins. But let's actually just kind of hold off this. I think they're going to javelin themselves in the back pretty good. Let's target them with my archers. And these archers... I have decent range. Let's go ahead and start firing into this blob over here. This spear unit ought to hold out for quite a long time. And we can honestly probably just go ahead and take these spear units and try and rear charge this blob over here. So let's start moving up. We've got our cavalry as well. I'm kind of just waiting for the enemy to get fully engaged. These archers are already racking up kills here. Not like a lot, but they're getting them. And these guys are going to start hurling javelins into those Celtic Axe Band, which is going to be very helpful. Really? Already? Holy crap. We got to get this leggy over here in a hurry. I did not expect that, so we are in trouble here, and our general's going to need the help as well. Get away, get away, get away. Those Celtic units busted through me here very quickly. And I did not expect that. Okay, I'm going to have to move in with my general here. Let's keep moving around. That means this is where we're going to need cavalry. Let's start moving cavalry up. These skirmishers over here racked up 180 kills, so fantastic work there. Let's start firing at their general over here. My general's under fire, but he is in shield wall. We need cavalry over here in a big hurry. Let's put one here. Got my archers firing away. Ooh, crap. Now we're not going to be able to... We got to bring our general over here to fill this gap, because that spear unit's wavering. This is going to get ugly before it gets better. I think I killed my own guys with the javelins right there. We need to hurry and crash into the back of these Celtic band with everything we got here so we can free this up. Got to get our general into shield wall here, or else he's going to insta-die. And I think we made it. Let's see. Do not fire at will, whatever you do. Let's fire at this archer. We need to kill these javelin men. Okay, this scout equity can come down here and take out the... can take out that archer. These units have ammo and they're going to be useful, but I've got to be careful with them as well. We should be able to crush these Celtic band, and those skirmishers will fall to my scout equites. The bows will fall there. My general is holding, but he's not going to hold long, so we need to get support over to him quickly. The quicker all my cavalry can break through these skirmisher units, the better. My general is dying very quickly in battle. Even with the shield wall, he's going to be outmatched heavily. Let's just start throwing it. Great. My general dies with 70 men left in his unit. When was the last time you saw that happen to the AI? Bunch of horse crap. That means that the morale of my men is going to be quite shaky at this point. I've never seen their general die with that many men left in the unit. That's the biggest load of crap. Let's pull this scout cavalry up, let it unload its javelins, and then we'll rear charge the enemy general. We've got to get moving quickly. Let's go ahead and move these units and split them to where if the enemy does break through there, we can start peppering them with javelins. Scout equites, come on, man, let them have it. Unleash those javelins, please, sometime today. Okay, it should be right into the back of the enemy general because he's the closest unit. And let's go ahead and charge him. Can't believe how fast my general died. Shield wall. This unit's managed to get 71 kills, though, which is pretty decent for a Palatina Guard, as they are typically a crappy unit. Let's go ahead and cycle this unit out. Pull up the next two. Do a fire at will. Run another charge on the general. So we'll let these two units throw their javelins into the back of this blob, which they did. Charge the general. So we need to get as many kills on that general as we can. And as soon as their general routs, I do believe this will be over for the Caledonians. But they were lucky enough to kill my general. The enemy general died there, and he died with quite a few men left in his unit, which, to be honest, is only fair. Yeah, that was a little closer than I wanted right there. The Celtic units were getting a lot of kills. That was not the easiest place to defend, but you know, we ended up being able to defend it. I'm going to let that blob kind of get chewed up a little. Make sure these units don't come back. I don't see any other huge units getting away. This one's still got 53 men though, so we need to hunt it down. I'm going to fast forward real quick. So definitely between this skirmisher unit right there with 183 kills, that was pretty clutch. This one only got 58. Archers didn't do much because they're not on the walls where they can really get good shots. Cavalry helped clutch that one out, obviously, by killing the onager. The spearmen, I should have been even quicker getting them around to rear charge that other group. I didn't realize how fast my Legio were going to crumble to those Celtic band. They must have really good, like, for their price, they must have good attack, because here in the Legendary campaign, they were just like berserkers almost or something, cutting through my guys. So I'm taking a look at the comments here. Someone's asking me what makes a mouse walk on two legs. I don't know. What does make the mouse walk on two legs there, Jack? Let's go ahead and end this. The chat is cancer. Let's see. victory. Yeah, it was a victory for me. And people were screaming at me to surround him. We did. So there we go. So we killed the enemy. We lost one of our Legio along the way, and our Palatina guard died. So we lost too many units there. I am going to take on units so that my men can quickly recover just in case another one of their stacks comes up behind these guys, which, speak of the devil, we need to bring that army up from southern Iberia to stop these guys. And once we've kind of rounded them up, we can use the army that we have in Narbo as well to put some extra pressure. So I think we're fairly well positioned there as long as we don't get completely overrun. The Ostrogoths have still got to be reeling after the beating that I gave them. Yeah, they're just sailing off into the sea, like vomiting over the sides of their ship and dying. Pretty sure that the Visigoths are about to get an unpleasant surprise. More Saxons. And look, Ebdonians, like all these troops just sailing down to my lands. Like they have a personal grudge like you would not believe. Attila's always been that way. We're going to get attacked at Vienna by some more... Well, these are Jutes, so these are actually not Celtic forces. We obviously need to defend against it. If we can kill the pikes with our archers... A little bit worried about how many skirmishers they have, and they've also got these mercenary Germanic mounted warband. I don't know what these units are, but I mean most of their melee units are pretty bad, which is fortunate for me. So, but again, that amount of archers are definitely gonna have to be dealt with. So let's fight this. Make 100 legions and kill everybody. Now, if that was an option, I would absolutely do that. Let's see. Yeah, this campaign, some people may have thought like, oh, this is stabilizing and Air's about to ruffle stomp everybody. No, there's a lot of enemy stacks still around. And you got to remember, some of these stacks are originating from like Northern Europe and Britannia. Like, it's going to take me a long time before I can get that far north to actually shut this. They gave me this stupid map again. Golly, this awful map. Like, hate this crap. It's so hard to defend this piece of crap map. What a worthless... This is so irritating. It's just this map has way too many points that you have to defend. I'm just going to go ahead and drop the barricade there to prevent that from being an option. So that leaves me 1, 2, 3. These are fairly defensible points. Man, that is annoying, the map that we get there. I see 2 of their slingers here. A couple of their archers out there. One over there. So I'm thinking to deploy my cavalry kind of hidden behind the town. If I can. No, sure can't. That's annoying. Really? Why can't I deploy my cavalry back here? That's such a sack of crap. I'm going to anyway. So I'm going to deploy them back there so that they can kind of hide behind the town. This is going to be a very difficult defense because I've got 3 points to defend, which is a lot more than I'd like. I just have to do our best with what we've got here, though, and one of these points is going to be pretty poorly defended. Really? I wonder if we can get lucky. Let's actually barricade that one because it's wider and there's not as many enemies deployed over there. I'm going to put my general back here at kind of this back door defense, and then I'm going to put my 2 Legio here to try and cover this widest point.
Legio!
And we'll have scout cavalry just around the bend there to try and help with rear charges as needed. There we go. Let's get those guys there. Do the best we can. I mean, that's the problem is too, your archers just can't do as much as they need to from this particular map, because if they fire, they're just going to fire right into the backs of their own men unless you're lucky and you kind of have a spot where they can fire from up and over, which I will try. But, I mean, obviously there's no guarantee that I can make that happen at this point. Okay, let's see what we can do. Just going to have to do the best with what we got here. Those guys were hidden, but now they're not. As long as the Celtic cavalry does not start to make its way over here and chase me, we're good. Let's actually move up just a little, because we need to get to those slingers as quickly as we can. And we will focus on
We must hold.
pikes and sword units with our archers because they're the biggest threat. Pikes at least don't get kills super
The
quick.
enemy draws near.
If they try to tear through this barricade over here, though, that's going to be a problem. I could always try and pull this general unit over there if they start trying to tear it down, but we'll just have to kind of wait and see what these guys do. They're getting hit by my towers already. This is good news. This unit is kind of hanging back, which is not good news because I can't have it protecting those slingers because it will absolutely wreck my scout cavalry. Here I'm going to get some plumbata throws into their cavalry, so this is absolutely what I want. I did not want them charging me before I could get in Testudo, though. And archers, I really don't want you shooting my guys in the back, so let's go ahead and cease fire. This unit did not get into Testudo. This one did. The only thing that's going to help him with is bracing against the charge. So it's time to move the scout cavalry in a hurry. Hopefully we can get into Testudo right here with this unit. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Go, go, go. And let's take these archers and start peppering that skirmish cav back there. We should be able to fire up and over. No, we can't. We are shooting the crap out of our own men. So between their javelins and mine, we are hurting our own men quite badly. That pike has the other
Have given up and are running for their
skirmisher covered. At least we're keeping the pike away. Let's go ahead and kill this. Our guys have already routed over here. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. That's exactly what I need. Don't fire. Don't fire. We're going to hit our own guys in the back. This is bad. So let's get this unit. So general, let's start bringing him this way. They're not going after my barricade as of yet. Archers, fire. Slingers and pikes. Okay, we wrapped up this unit. Let's run a rear charge here, see if we can get rid of these guys faster. This mounted warband, but that's okay. They didn't charge my scout equites, so that's good. No, actually, that's a foolish charge. Just get the heck away from that. We got to stay alive. Okay, let's see if we can get this unit out of here. Forget the, I don't know, those guys are already in position where I can't fire my bows. Keep firing at the slingers for now. Let's move back around. See if we can get... Holy crap! My spear's over here just like suddenly getting murdered. It's because they're getting fired on by archers. Crap, dang it, man. We're going to lose that unit too. We are just getting straight wrecked here, so I'm going to have to intercept this cavalry unit before it gets to my bows. This army is just shredding me, and doesn't seem to be a whole darn lot I can do about it. I can get to these archers now, but for some reason my guys are just completely falling apart. Like over here we got insta-wrecked by Nordic Levy. Nordic Levy? And I'm not in Testudo over here with this unit because I had to charge in. Their stupid cavalry chased me over here, so I'm going to lose my scout equites. I'm trying to beat off the Nordic Levy with my archers here. I'm just firing away. I can't really ignore these skirmishers, but I can't stick around and kill them all either. And they're just going straight for the capture point. I'll just hit them with what I like, some regrouped units here. Come on, rear charge that. My scout equitage got straight wrecked by the Germanic brigands. That's expected. So this is going to be a loss right here. We're going to have to bring up our southern army and the one from Narbo to put this down. This is annoying, like how well these guys did in combat. I mean, Nordic Levy just tore apart my spear unit that fast. Like, did I miss something?
A unit is running from the enemy.
Let's just keep shooting these. Keep shooting these Nordic Levy with their bows. Do what we can. I've got one of these spear units wavering, but it's not going to matter. They've got pikes and all kinds of stuff left. I don't have enough ammo, but we needed to just damage these guys as bad as we can. Good grief, man. These guys just ripped right through my army with some of the crappiest troops I've ever seen.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
I'm sure they are. Let's shoot a few of these pikes before we get out of here. See if I can get a point-blank volley off on these pikes. Nope. All my guys are going to rout. So Yeah, we're going to lose that one. That's irritating. I really thought that was fairly easily defensible, but apparently Nordic Levy are the new Levy freemen of the old world. Good grief, man. 48 kills. This was against my spears. Look at that. 48 kills, 43 kills against my much tankier spears. Yeah, enjoy that while it lasts, you jute scum. You don't even want to know what's going to happen when I get to your homelands. Patchy's going to have the entire country where you came from burned, and then he's going to have his men defecate all over it, and then he's going to set that defecation on fire, and then repeat the process several times. I really don't need a war with the Huns here, guys. Sorry. I'm good. That's not worth 1,000 to me. Why don't you just pay the Huns off rather than me? Well, let's see if we can even get to the turn end here. We're apparently struggling with that. Let's see. How long am I streaming? This was going to be an hour-long stream. So I'm going to cut this one off at 9 a.m. roughly, my time. Revengeful Patchy. That's right, Patchy's revengeful. Holy crap. So my army over here is now surrounded by a bunch of steppe factions. So the Roxolanians are going to attack me. Let's flee away from them.
Disengage!
Okay, they can catch me. So I've got crossbows and archers, and I've got some of these skirmish cavalry. My biggest concern is their shock cavalry. These mercenary steppe lancers, they're not very heavy, but still a bit of a concern. My Armigeri Defensores should be able to, what does this say? Misdirect army. So someone had an enemy agent get a hold of us. We can always camp this if we need to and just hide our cavalry somewhere. But I think that my Armigeri will be able to pretty easily deal with their infantry. It's all their, let's see, they've got 1 horse archer and 4 foot archers. That is definitely my concern. We have enough cavalry to deal with it only if we can get rid of their cavalry. Again, their infantry is not my biggest concern. Let's see what my camping point would look like. It's a pretty solid camping point. It would allow me to hide some cavalry back here. So I'd be fairly happy with this in terms of camping up here. It's going to give me decent ground and everything to camp on. So let's go ahead and take care of that. And I have no qualms camping the AI on this difficulty setting whatsoever. Let's see. Let's get these guys back here, and then scout equites. Definitely want to hide them like way over here. They may get spotted as the AI marches up, so let's try and get them like right against the edge of the map. Let's see if there's another good place to hide. Not really. Over here, not really. They would get seen hiding there, I'm thinking. So let's just get these new Jav Cav that we recruited up that are similar to my Scout Equites, but seem like they have a ton of Javelins. And let's use... Actually, they can't guerrilla deploy, so we'll have to hide them. That's unfortunate that they can't guerrilla deploy. Let's take these units, the Armigeri. And I am worried about the Armigeri getting charged even in a shield wall. So I'm thinking about sacrificing these spear units up front. Because they're relatively easily replaced, I think.
The enemy approaches.
Let's go ahead and go hide over here. Might want to pull my general back to safety too. We definitely want him alive. I'll try and put him in a testudo right behind my men where he can support their morale. He's also got this second wind. Not crazy helpful, but it should be helpful. Let's fast forward. Just kind of get all my men into the camping position. All my cavalry is hidden. Let's hope it stays hidden. Yes, this is a video about next level corner camping tactics. Should not run my units. Why not run them? They're gonna have plenty of time to rest. It only takes like a second in Attila. Shouldn't be a big deal. This crossbow unit is super valuable. So we'll have to keep it safe. Kind of, yeah, I want those spear units out there to absorb the enemy charge. Let me get a few shots. That is so much cavalry, and it worries me a great deal. Fortunately, none of their melee cav is particularly great, except for the steppe chieftain. That might be the best unit that they have in terms of melee cav. Their archers concern me a great deal. These steppe bows tend to have very nice damage. They do have one mounted bow, which I'm not super worried about because I have my jav cav and my foot skirmishers. Let's go ahead and get all these guys into shield wall. And the general into his mobile testudo. And we want him behind my troops for support, but not too close. Let's go ahead and push play because I'm going to need to properly manage this battle. Kind of just got my guys on standard shots here. Okay, let's see where the AI chooses to target with its skirmishers. They are targeting my spears. They're in testudo. Let's return fire. AI wants to sit back and use its missiles. Hopefully I can survive the missile storm with my guys. I don't think I will cause damage to them by firing over their heads. Starting to lose men there. Let's go ahead and precision shot and barrage. My crossbows do not have very good range, but they have very nice damage. I'm going to cause very little damage to the enemy troops just because of the difficulty settings and stuff. I may get charged by cavalry over here with my crossbows. Please go ahead and fire if you don't mind. Let's not get any closer. Yes, go ahead and fire, please. Anytime you're ready. Doing a little bit of damage with my Sagittari. These guys are making them waste a lot of their missiles, which is important because we don't want my Armigeri taking losses. Are we suffering penalties? No. This must not be a nomadic faction. Alright. Cavalry is safely hidden. We've got to wait for the enemy cavalry to engage. I'm hoping that these Leones Senores can kill a number of their cavalry before they get to my men, but front on YOLO, these guys do have expert charge defense, but it's still going to kill them pretty quickly with the frontal YOLO assault. Thinking I'm actually going to pull back my skirmishers a little at this point, just let my spearmen take the remainder of the fire. I don't want to waste all my ammo. I might need it to kill their general with some flaming barrage or something like that. So I'm just going to pull back. We should be able to weather out most of the remaining ammo with relative ease. Good grief, the steppe bow's already fired all of its ammo. Yeah, against their bows, looks like my...
Our ambush troops have been detected.
Not these ones. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Any of their cavalry that gets caught on these spears ought to take some damage, but I mean, look at that. Even from a bow cavalry charging, they got pretty wrecked up. And these guys just bypassed my spears and are going straight for...
We have revealed that the enemy are ambushing us.
This is going to hurt. AI is going to get a ton of kills there. I was already down 12 men almost instantly. So we're going to have to quickly get our cavalry out. Okay, we're just buying ourselves a little time over here. Let's see. Trying to use some flaming shot on their horsemen. These guys aren't going to get a great charge, I don't think, because they just took out my spear units that I kind of sacrificed. Most of these bows are out of ammo, but let's Let's go ahead and get a few kills. If their cavalry chases me, I'll skirmish back and try and use my jab cav, which is going to be the case, so skirmish back. Alright, we'll lure some of their cavalry off. That's still kind of a victory in and of itself. I need this crossbow over here where I can potentially get shots on their general. My Armageri are holding. Skirmish, skirmish, skirmish. There we go. So we're going to skirmish out their step-mounted brigands. We on fire at will here. We are. Let's just get around their men. Their general has committed right here into the center of this fight. Get my archers back. The idiots have gone forward into combat. These guys just broke through my flank, which means I'm going to have to attack that cavalry. We've got to kill that cavalry at all cost. Okay, they're catching me over here because I'm not microing. Get back. You all get around and we'll do a rear charge over here. The enemy general's like right on top of my men, so using my crossbows to kill him is going to be pretty detrimental. But these units here can break out a shield wall and get ready to outflank. There we go. Crap, all my cavalry over there has gotten caught. This is a problem. Some of their guys came back from routing right here too. I don't really care. I'm going to rear charge this blob and try and get it killed.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Let's just kind of guard the blob here from the enemy cavalry that just broke through. And we've got our... Freak, my crossbows are getting engaged in melee combat, really? Kill those guys. This cavalry, like, I really need you back over here now. This is turning into a much more desperate scenario than I had originally intended. Yeah, please plowing over here. I don't know if we can hold up against all this. But we do have their main blob kind of routing. We got those guys gone. Let's get rid of that cavalry real quick. My own cavalry's coming back. I think we're going to be able to pull this off, though. We're going to have to put to sea with this army and just flee back to Italy in order to keep it alive. And we're going to end up taking losses. So we got pounced on by enemy troops here before we could get to the Visigoths. It's bad news. Good news is the enemy general's dead. So this was a Pyrrhic victory of sorts here. It's damaged me enough that I don't think I'm going to be able to take the Visigothic town. So... the blob is real. That's typical for the AI. So let's take a look at some of the other chat here. Chat is pretty crazy, I'm not going to lie. So we lost one of our scout equites, that we killed the enemy general. They got away with a ton of their guys because I didn't take the time to run them down. Hopefully the Visigoths don't have their turn end here. And I don't know where I'm going to put to sea either without sacking their city. So that's a bit of a concern. I wonder if the auto-resolve would favor me enough to give me that win. Hey, if you want a peace treaty, I'm all about it, friends. But let's just see whether or not I can extort any more money out of you. Ooh, better not risk it. Let's just take the peace. All right. The rebels are attacking me, and it's giving me a great chance on the auto-resolve. Did I choose to fight this? I guess. I sure didn't mean to. Dadgummit, I don't want to fight this. And it's this stupid Colosseum map again. I was pretty sure I clicked on auto-resolve, but apparently not. Oh, man. Are we talking about politics in the chat? Come on. I had to hear about that all day on the news. And normally I would enjoy politics, but... yeah, the last few years, man, it has just turned into an absolute... I don't even know how to describe it at this point. It's an idiotic mess. That's probably the best way that I know how to describe it. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to put this barricade up there. We'll put some guys with javelins up there. Only want this unit to fire at will. Actually, I do want these guys firing at will. Let's put one unit down here. We'll let them fire at will.
Fire at anyone.
Let's pull these 2 units up for support. They are not on fire at will. And then we have a ton of spears. Put 2 of them back here just to guard this entrance. And then we'll put the rest of them in different reinforcing positions up here. Actually, it would only make sense to probably just move up to here. Let's put a block of these guys here. And let's just leave 1 to help here. Maybe 1 more to help here. As far as archers go, just get up here somewhere where I can probably make useful. I think this will work. Send my cavalry outside of town. We need to get to the onager. I can't see their onager as is. Not really sure why. Let's go ahead and get the scout equites out of the town. Okay, their onager was over there all along. That's good. It's actually not good. It's annoying. Just ignore it for now, though I don't know if ignoring an onager is a good plan. Let's get right behind this here in case that onager wants to fire at me. The onager's probably going to fire at my tower. I'm going to take 1 unit of cavalry and swing down here around the southern edge of town, see if we can get over to that onager. Kind of fall back with this cavalry to where the enemy can't see me because I don't want them engaging. Okay. I hate this town layout. Like, I thoroughly hate it. It's one of the most annoying ones. Okay, this cavalry is just coming in quick. I gotta get into the testudo because they're gonna cause too much damage if I don't. I wanted to throw my javelins, but it's just, if we're not 100% braced here against even light cavalry, it's gonna end poorly. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and give an attack order on the onager. Their scout equites are not gonna do very good in that position, fortunately for me. They do have a Palatina guard. Let's come over here. That tower should be putting down some fire for me on some of these troops, but it doesn't look like it is. Crap. Didn't get into my testudo there. So the scout cavalry is actually going to get or that's an equites dalmate. Yeah, it's going to get a considerable number of kills in that combat. So I'm going to move up kind of my second line.
Nothing remains of that tower now.
There we go. So I've got a second line. Try and get around those slingers. These guys over here taking a lot of damage from my tower. That's good. Any of them that die, that's just less ammo for them. And their onager is going to get killed by my scout equites. I don't see any of their cavalry units that are free at the moment. Look at this. Nice positioning, by the way. Let's try again. I didn't end up taking a ton of damage from their equites dalmate, fortunately. They do have some cohorts and other units moving up. Let's take our archers and start firing down into these javelins. Ugh. I don't know if we're going to be hitting our own guys or not. Let's try and pull these guys over here so they don't hit my own guys. You all can go ahead and do a precision shot. There's hurlers all over the place, so I'm still a little bit hesitant to overcommit these scout equites. And these spearmen, I'm going to just wait for a proper moment. Their onager's gone, so let's start to move in back over here. These legio up on the walls are wrecking this levies amature, so it should limit them. And they're completely routed. So that's good. I'll finish them off with my scout equites.
Units have rallied and returned to the battle.
We're getting some decent kills on their javelins. This slinger unit is firing, but causing relatively little damage against my highly armored, high block chance. And let's go ahead and take these spearmen out of testudo and start to move down this street, and then these ones will move this way. That way we can get ready to rear charge anything that attacks these legio head on. And if I lose this frontline Legio, I've got 2 more in defense. Okay. They're going to chase my Scout Equites. Suppose that makes a lot of sense. Not really. Let's go ahead and swing around and see if we can pin some of these units. Those stupid slingers are sitting here. Now they're starting to get a bunch of kills. It's kind of irritating. Might bring this unit over here. Okay, they quit chasing my Scout Equites finally. Okay. They did rout my my Legio there. Might have to see what I can do. I want to try and get to these different skirmishers. They're going to block me with the Funded Torres, which is good because then those Levies Amaturae can... Oh, it's not good for me. I'm saying it's good for them because their Levies Amaturae are going to turn around and kill a ton of my cavalry. And now my guys are caught here too. Just get the heck out of there. I'm going to take some losses, but do it. I'm going to move my Legio up into there. Yeah, just get out. I'm surprised I got out of there as cleanly as I did. Let's go ahead and just get the traps set up here. Let's hold on to our ammo with the Sagittari. Not really doing a lot of good from where they're at there. Yeah, we got extra units, so we should be able to win this, although it's not even a battle I wanted to fight to begin with, but hey.
The enemy is going for our general. Protect him.
Yeah, the enemy's firing at me over here, so let's Testudo and weather that storm. I want to get in behind the enemy units here. They're a little bit blobbed, so let's do it. Got more spear units here. We can push these spear units forward. These few spearmen probably don't stand a chance of killing my scout cavalry. Get in there and fight. Just kind of surround the enemy bodyguard. I'm going to send one of these spears to engage this Limitani border guard. And my scout cavalry is going to run down these skirmishers. And then these units can move forward and attack the border guard. Yep, here we go. So we're going to overwhelm these rebels quite easily. Or separatists, whatever the heck they are. Yeah, they're going to get cut off by my my Legio here and then recharged by the Leones Senores. So, going to be the end of the separatist in this vicinity, which is dead separatist is definitely the way that I like my separatist. Some people are telling me to convert to paganism. I do need to convert to the paganism. I do not have a high enough percentage for my overall faction. I might try and just find a mod that lets me go ahead and convert, other than making it take forever into the game. It wasn't really important that we defend this place, but hey, whatever, we did. Hopefully this is actually finally the end of the turn. We have a lot of stuff to take care of. I haven't gotten any campaign map time because these turn-ins are absolutely insane. And looks like little baby Attila is born here. So we're going to start feeling the effects of climate change.
Ready for war. The world had fallen into shadow. The earth grew cold, and the wind whispered of death. And I beheld a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of scales in his hand. Attila was born.
Attila!
All knelt before him, for they knew he would devour the earth and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. Attila was born from darkness and despair.
Well, there's one good reason to try and hurry and convert to paganism. Also, we're going to have the craptacular effects of climate change that just randomly start. You can already see my income down a lot because we lost fertility. indiscriminately across all lands. I do have a mod that makes it better in the sense that it eventually goes away, but I still do absolutely hate the climate change. The only reason why I didn't completely mod it out is twofold. One, if climate change worked right, I would think it was kind of a cool way to create a challenge in the campaign. But it doesn't. It just works in kind of an idiotic, one-size-fits-all manner, and I don't find it interesting or useful in terms of making things. You know what? It doesn't add anything to the campaign in my mind. So we have got to get reinforcements up here as quickly as we can. So I'm going to start force marching from southern Iberia, and I've got this stack that needs to go protect Vienna from the Jutes. Okay, there's no attrition here, so we'll start moving that way. Let's see. We need to name the city for Mr. Angus. So let's do it right here at Tarentum. Nice place, relatively peaceful. Let's go into the city details here. Trying to remember how we rename it. Go to records, Magna Graecia. Oh, I think you can. Magna Graecia. No. Where is it at? I know we can rename this. Garrison details, no. Is it zoomed to current selection, I guess? Where is it we rename the city? If you all know, tell me where I renamed the city. I'm trying to remember. I know how to rename an army. He wanted me to rename one of the armies Patchy's Fist, and I'm thinking this one would be the best one to rename that. So let's go in here. Yeah, we can rename them right up here. So we're going to rename this Patchy's Fist. So that one's for you, Mr. Angus. So we've got them renamed, and then is it the settlement the same way? Do you just rename it right here? No, it's not letting me click on it. View family trees, governor details. Let's see. Like that other city, it's all banter. Click them next to the names. I don't guess I know what you all are talking about here just yet. Let's see. Building browser. Let's see. Question. What is this? Toggle garrison details. Nope, that's just the encyclopedia. Alright, someone's saying left side, right next to the names. This? Like the details button? Is that where I go into it? Double click. I did double click it. Or double click up here? No. Next to the names, next to the name, region. Is this it? Rename settlement. Found it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Let's rename the settlement, and we're going to call this Patchy Town for him. Now, for the folks in the chat, does it not show up just yet? Did we not save it? Patchy Town. There we go. Sweet. We got Patchy Town. All right, so you all help me with a few other names. We're going to rename Carthage. So you all help me think of a name to rename Carthage, and then we need to give some of these armies a name. This one that just got trapped between the Roxolanians and the others, can you all help me think of a name for them? Really not sure what to do with these guys because we are in trouble. We are in big trouble. We got the whatever these guys are, Yagis. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce those guys, but they're chasing me. Markomans are still just parked up here in my territory. I'm thinking, yeah, we did just, I think, suffer the first climate change. Yeah, -1 is now in effect. So that's why our income dropped quite a bit because, you know, the stuff that's impacted by it. Let's check out our summary and see. We are inching closer to being able to switch to paganism, but still, it's only 0.5% per turn, and it's rounding up. So we are suffering pretty bad, and the Latin Christianity is actually gaining steam again, too, somehow. Not really quite sure how that works. Not quite sure what's happening there. We do have a decent amount of money. This army, though, I don't have anywhere to put to sea without going through the enemy settlement. if I run, I may get caught by another army. I can't get past the zone of influence. Here, we defeated these guys, but I don't know if the auto-resolve would give me what I need. Let's see what we can do. We can't hire any mercenaries. I mean, we could fortify, and it would make this army relatively strong. It does give them replenishment as well. It would depend on what chances I have of actually sacking the settlement on the auto-resolve. Let's see what that is. Not real great because they have a big navy there. It does save the game right before it though, so I could always reload here. Let's see what happens. I have to siege it actually, so yeah, this is no good. This is no bueno. I have to siege it because it has walls, and certainly not what we want to do. Let's fall back off that, and that's going to make it to where I can't fortify though, I think. So
Ready for orders.
yeah, dadgummit, it's going to make it to where I can't fortify. Shoot. I wonder if they'll survive a turn. Let's see if anybody's come up with a good name. Let's see. Anybody have a good name for that city yet? I didn't see any of the chat just a minute ago. Let me click over to the chat and see what I can... What in the world just happened? Just clicked out of the game and it like made all my screens go crazy. Let's tab out. Over to Chrome. Check the chat. Let's see. Someone changed Trump City. We're not naming it Trump City. Let's see. Patchy's Boys. Barad-dur. Not quite Lord of the Rings here. Patchy's Pagans. Army of Peasants. Death Star. Let's see. Carthage. Salt Town. That's hilarious. Let's see. The Lost Region. Patchy's Demise. Let's see. Don't rename settlements. It loses historical value. We've lost pretty much all historical value at this point anyway. Let's see. Man, this army is screwed. I don't know what to do with them. I'm going to end up getting attacked by one of these other armies while I'm sieged, and then we'll be dead for sure. I can't really sally out with this army. It's too risky. These guys are raiding in my lands, and I'd love to kill them, but I mean, I don't want to fight them on open ground. That would just be a good way to open myself up for destruction here, I think. They're like way up on that mountain pass, so they're going to get like a ton of trees and everywhere to spawn in. I just don't like that. So yeah, not really sure what to think about that. This annoying bit going on in Hispania. I need this army back over here as quickly as we can. So I'm still force marching. Let's go ahead and upgrade these guys. It's going to take a little bit of my upkeep, but it'll be all right. Actually, that was quite a lot of my upkeep. Wow. Some expensive upkeep. We do have some stuff where we can make more money, though. So like this, if we convert it to... It was this theater. We get 1,000 wealth from culture and more paganism influence. So let's do that. That'll be a worthwhile spend of money because it'll turn it around for us. This needs to be converted to something that makes us money. And the governor's house does make us money, but it's not near as much as I would like. But let's go ahead and convert it. Might as well make what money we can off of it. If we build a field here and turn this into like a wheat field, we can convert this wheat field into a sheep flock and we can make more money off of that. So that'll be kind of a few of the things that we can spend money on. These provinces over here are fairly rich in terms of fertility as well. Problem is I don't have anywhere to build a sheep flock over here. This is my only military building. So that's unfortunate. And we've already built one here. And I can't tear the other one down or else I'll go negative on food. We're getting a nice wealth from culture out of that. And we've got some wealth from culture coming out of this. Yeah, the statue doesn't give me any wealth. So we'll have to focus on building up some wealth. And honestly, continuing to build up Narbonnesis will make a big difference. We need to repair that sheep flock. That's where we're losing quite a bit of money right now. Let's build this other sheep flock. That'll certainly help shore things up a little. And let's go ahead and spend some money to get to the auditorium, and then we'll go from there to the theater, which is going to give us the nicer income, so we can get another 1,000 wealth from culture and the influence for paganism, and then we'll do the same thing here. It's not a... Actually, we only get the same amount of wealth from culture there. It's kind of unfortunate. Food is still positive in this province at the moment. We'll probably stay that way. Food's relatively simple in this province. We do have this wine right here. If we build this building, what does the winery chain look like? Orchards. It's extra food, public order, and wine resource production, so we might as well fire that up. Kind of only makes sense. We're out of money for this turn. Well, we're out of money enough to spend on the buildings that I need here. Don't want to... The Tabernet, though, it does give you a lot of wealth. Let's see where it goes. Wine market, slave market. So let's see kind of how these develop. So you get 750 from this one. Wow, 1,200 from the wine market. And then 2,000 from the wine emporium. Holy crap. I just don't get the public order boost that I need. We get some extra public order from the orchards. And maybe if we switch this one over to the forum. I'm thinking of... And then we get spies too. We need agents. That is just... Man, that is a ton of... I don't know what the road development does either, but it can't be a bad thing. Let's go down that road because we've got some of this stuff set up. And we'll have to look at potentially using that Tabernet chain to see if we can make some extra money where public order is in good state. We need to switch this amphitheater over to the regular theater. And then again, we might consider where public order is good enough switching over to that Tabernet and trying to rack up some money off of it, because that's a lot of wealth from culture. Let's see. We're about to have to end another turn, and it's going to get ugly. Definitely going to get ugly before it gets better. This army will probably be able to take my city here. It's probably a relatively pointless defense. We'll just have to get this other army up to stop them. And then the army that is down in, up in Narbo is going to have to beat back the Jutes up there. I don't have a ton of skirmishers. I'd really rather have some cavalry. I just don't have enough money to hire them. What did I build recently? Is there anything that I built that's... Yeah, all the stuff I built is pretty important. We'll just pick up the mercenaries on the next turn. Let's go ahead and end this. So if we can kind of slow down the Celtic invasions... I say that, boy, these are going to be going on for several turns straight. So we might as well get used to that. We might just have to use some fortifications and other stuff to try and wipe those guys out at a single point. Like maybe if we fortify up in a mountain pass, we can block them from getting into our lands. Wow, they ran off. But now the bad news is they're going to head somewhere else, probably more potentially devastating. I wish that Mauryan navy that I'd subjugated would get over here and attack some of these guys. I need a navy eventually if I'm going to keep these guys off my case, all those transport ships. So it may be worthwhile investing in a navy over there. I need to try and get that legion out of Illyria before it becomes the Lost Legion. See what happens.
Our warriors will
Swabians want military access.
Your women, I cannot promise
How
that.
trustworthy are they? I mean, they've got pretty good feelings towards me. Overall, 94 and improving. Aggressive, expansionist. They might be attacking my enemies, though, if I give them military access. Let's accept it and see what happens. I mean, the worst thing is they end up at war with me. Everybody else already is anyway. Yes! See, they came into my lands to help me. That was worth it. Thank you, Swabians. So, I guess that ended up being okay for the moment. The Huns are on the move. We need to get my income built back up.
We would be suitably grateful if you could address an attack.
Yeah, and I really don't want to war with the Huns until I get converted to paganism here, people. Because I'm going to get freaking -10 morale and whatever else it is if I end up having to fight them. I don't need that. I'm thinking about, like, I wonder if I can go ahead and try and pay the Huns off. I don't know if I have enough money to pay them off is my biggest concern, though. Okay, so a lot of their units just fled there. I might be able to save that legion that's stuck in Illyria, get it back to Italy, rebuild it, and send it back out to be more successful. They probably misdirected that army. Yeah, it's in Dalmatia, so Alan's got destroyed. That's good. Disease spreads to Patchy Town. Hey, as soon as I named it for you, Nathan, it has disease. Narbonnesus is about to rebel, but we can put down the rebellion. That's not the end of the world. This army right here can go ahead and get back within the... let's go ahead and force march them, get completely behind this settlement. So they're now safe. So disaster averted there. We managed to save these guys. Let's call these guys... let's rename their army. Legio 8. Nearly lost. How about that? So we saved them. Got a little bit of money. Income popped up a little bit after that turn in. That's good. We go ahead and start repairing things at Pompaleo. We've got Britannians who don't show as an enemy army. They show at peace, but they're in my lands, and I can't say that I'm real pleased about that. You can move through this pass here, but if I move all the way up there, I won't be able to fortify. They probably, though, can't get to any of these other settlements in a single turn-in. Don't forced march. I'm trying to think of the best way to cut those guys off. We do need to get rid of that Jute army. Certainly need to get rid of it. Okay, it's fled to Swabian land, so we're going to let the Swabians deal with that. And then I can garrison Vienna, and that will keep the rebellion from happening on this turn in this province, though it won't be long before it's going to turn around that way. We need to convert. We can't convert this capital. No, because there's nothing to convert to at that level. We need to tear it down and build the appropriate chain there. Okay, let's see. Trying to look at the chat there. The Walking Dead. Okay, that's true. That's a better name. That's a better name. I like that. They're gonna die sooner or later anyway. Very good, very good. Who gave me that in the chat there? Eye of Terror. I'm a salty Carthaginian. Well, you know, we could rename that. Let's get down here and call it Salty Carthago. That way we renamed it, but it's still somewhat... oh, whoops, I hit the wrong button again. I did it same thing as last. Let's call it Salty Carthago. There we go. There we go. I like that too. The Walking Dead. That was perfect. I like that. That was good. Nice thought there. Patchy Town has disease, so obviously they're real happy right now. It did grow enough, though, to where we can put some sanitation down here, and we should probably do that. Trying to think what else we should do down here. Once public order restabilizes, we kind of need to consider... Ooh, putting in a theater down there would be super helpful, too. But let's just make sure we're spending our money where it needs to be spent the most. So like a province like Narbo here, which is... oh, whoops, that's not Narbo. It's undergoing province. This one's only got negative public order because of the recent attacks. We should be able to restabilize it soon. So, yeah, I got the theater. Oh, man. So we got so much stuff to deal with still. This is certainly not over. Not in the least. This army can... And the question... So I'm a little bit worried because these guys are not... These are Western Roman rebels. We may get a penalty for that because they're... And is what kind of fertility does Leptis have? Is it any good? No, it's pretty crappy. It's pretty crappy. But if we could support it, or no, it's Tripolitania, so it's not good, but it's not bad. It would be able to support itself with food, at least for now. And the question would be, could we use it to potentially Gaetulians. Yeah, could we use this province to just make some money with like a tabernae and stuff? And the answer is probably yes. Between a tabernae and a theater, if you could build both of those, man, that would give you huge income. As long as you could keep food in the positive. Let's go ahead and move down here, and let's think about taking this province back from the rebels. And the Garamantians have not gone to war with me. Africa is actually at peace with me, so maybe it's just the rebels that I need to kill for now. I wonder if these guys would trade with me.
Speak, for you have my attention.
Why would you not trade with me? This doesn't make the least bit of sense why these guys are always just, no, we don't want trade. It makes sense, we need it, but no. Let's see if they're able to be paid off. Really? I have all this stuff to trade with you and you're not interested. Look at this. How does that even make sense? It's so stupid. I don't know why the factions in this game are so absolutely moronic in that sense. So I'm already trading with the Garamantians, and our relationship with them is deteriorating. That's not good. And it's deteriorating because of treaties with the East Romans, their cultural version, military actions against the Gaetulians, which that should go away, but I don't know. That means we need to be prepared to protect Africa because we're probably going to get betrayed by the Garamantians. I mean, we are all used to getting betrayed by Garamantians, so that would be absolutely no surprise. Oh, filthy Garamantians. What is an Ostrogothic spy doing all the way out here on Carolus? That seems rather pointless. Let's see. Maybe getting some extra growth here wouldn't hurt. Got the governor's house. That really should have been a theater. But if I tear it down, we don't have enough public order to withstand it. We could grab ourselves an extra public order point by doing this. I'd rather have the growth, but it doesn't give us any public order. So let's just get the extra public order at the moment. Okay, so let's see. This army, the general at least, has ranked up. Given the extra replenishment and melee defense, so that's not going to hurt that army. The next time I play, though, I will look for a mod that will allow us to convert to paganism faster. Still need to decide where to move this army, and I think the zone of influence there at Pompaleo, if we move up within it where we can get reinforced, that'll get me as close to these enemies as possible, but without actually being within their range of attack. We've got a little bit of money left. I certainly want this mounted warband. We're going to need it. 262. That mounted warband's 245. I wonder what else can we hire. Let's go ahead and hire that mercenary. Can we hire Legio here? No, we cannot. Just more spears. Based on what we're coming up against, though, it won't be the end of the world. What's the upkeep on the spears versus some of my mercenaries? 194. 262. You have 112 there, so it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and get the unit of pikes. They're pretty craptacular, but it's going to be cheaper than another unit of spears. Don't know how much damage the hurlers would do, but they don't cost a lot of upkeep, really. They're way cheaper than my existing skirmishers. So let's just go ahead and grab them. And let's go ahead and just fill up the last couple of units with spears. We just need as many men as we can. Okay, so I think that we're about ready to end another turn. What time is it? I'm actually well past my time to end the stream, so I need to go ahead and end the stream. I'd say it was a fairly decent episode. We got some battles in. Got a little bit of campaign map time. We saved the Legion here. We renamed a couple of places. Let me see, though. We need to do some Q&A on the comments, because I did just hit 150,000 subscribers, so I'm looking for ideas from people around what you would like me to do for some kind of special. I had an idea where I was thinking about putting together kind of like a montage of some of my favorite moments from different videos over all the time that I have been on YouTube. I don't know, tell me what you all think of that. If not, I can do something different. But let's see. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed the stream. Probably ought to go ahead and get off here, and got a bunch of stuff to do today. I will try and get a Rome online battle up here soon as well. So keep your eye out for that. It's probably going to be a couple hours before it's completely ready. I have a Halo video I'm going to turn out. I know a lot of you don't watch that, but it'll be there if you want to watch something too. Yeah, any other questions for me before I get to the end of the stream here? Let's see. Don't spread my units. Battle of Con AA. I think I had a poll on this video. I don't know if you all saw it that was asking which Warhammer faction that I should play as. So, sounds like some of y'all are okay with the montage, so I'm going to do that. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. I said I was going to do some Q&A, but I haven't seen any questions yet. So, if I see any questions, I'll stay on for just a second, but I can't stay on too much longer because I told Mrs. Air I'd be done. Greatest jokes, Apache. Yeah, they're all pretty bad, so wouldn't take me long to do that. Apache's lost provinces. Let's see. Someone keeps reminding us that they're about to go take a crap. I hope that goes well for you. Don't squeeze too hard. You don't want hemorrhoids. All right, I'm not seeing any questions come across. Someone says, is this a question? That's Tarek360. No, sorry, not a question. Let's see. Do I like pie? Well, of course. I mean, who doesn't like pie? Shepherd's pie, apple pie, chicken pot pie. I mean, there's lots of good kinds of pie. Do a video about your lost provinces here in the Roman campaign. I could. Anyway, I've got to get running. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. I will see you all later. HeirofCarthage signing out.